Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So just powering up the airplane so that things can start moving along here. We'll get the batteries turned on and we'll get the navigational systems configuring because those take about 7 minutes, as you can see. But I'm here doing the WAT Tour for NASCAR 2020. So we are headed next to Martinsville for leg 8 of this tour, which is the same as we would be doing here in 2024. That takes us to the Greensboro airport. So that is where we are going at this point. So we're going to go ahead here, get things set up. Should be able to get everything pulled in, which we did. I'm going to set flaps 1, and then we also want to head over here, get all of this pulled in so that we have the fuel weights. Then we should be able to set our V speeds based on our flaps and knowing what things weigh. Alright, and then if I go in here, we will be departing on runway 16 via the Cali 7 SID and heading to the ready transition. And subsequently, we are arriving on runway 23 right, which is the longer runway. And I don't know that we're going on a specific arrival. I do not believe we are. Alright, so we're looking for any discontinuities. There we go. We've got to get rid of those. Make sure there's no others. So yeah, CF. So what we want is to go, yes, from LYH direct to CF23. That works. And that will get us in to where we need to be. So I am using the Real Traffic mod that I had in the last leg. I still have 16 days left. I haven't actually done anything in between to test it out, which is a bit unfortunate, but it is what we've got. It doesn't show a lot of live traffic here. This may not be an exceptionally busy airport. It's listing live as 1, but it's not parked live as 1. So I don't know if that means that in theory that plane is somewhere out and about in the airport space or not. I'm also trying to debug something where some kind of mod, I guess, and I've eliminated a few things. So I've got all the liveries for use with PSXT, so right now those may not actually function as nicely as we would like, because at this point I think it would just use the FSLTL liveries. I'm not entirely sure, because yes, it's only showing 1914 where before I had 9500. I'll slowly put things back, but basically I was unable to use GSX, the coaddle or whatever you call it that runs this menu wouldn't come up, so this thing, restart coaddle. I couldn't even get this menu, but there are ways that I can try to restart it otherwise. That wasn't working. And then also the Airbus wouldn't start up when I hit those keys as I did. I was unable to get anything to power on, so it was pretty bad. So I was a little worried that I had something significant. I just now need to, in the meantime, to figure out what the problem actually is, because I don't know what it is. Alright, we're 2975 on our barometer setting. But I'm going to go ahead and if things get a little more interesting in the airport, I will definitely share those. We'll probably look at things as we taxi. But even right now, at the static gates, there's only 6 aircraft parked that this has injected, that PSXT with Real Traffic has put in there, and none of them are live. They're just static. So I assume that means nothing's going to move. We don't see anything with us right here. But sometimes if I go over, I can see a couple tails. So it looks like we've got a few American flights, a Spirit flight. I am later, or a little earlier in the day, so it's possible some flights will be coming in. Don't know. But anyway, I'm going to try to get the plane going. Obviously, I've got a little bit of time here to get aligned, but I'm going to get going and get up in the air and hopefully land in the little bit of time I have. So I've still got quite a bit of luggage. Hopefully that's the last little bit that we've got, but he's got 6 or 7 of those that need to get loaded. I'm hearing a plane. We do have real weather. I do try to do that a little bit if I can with the bigger airliners, just because it gives us that capability and the realism, and I like that little bit of added challenge sometimes. Alright, it's showing 4 live now in the traffic general, but again, none parked, so possible more is happening. And, you know, things might be coming in, but yeah, I'm not seeing anything taxiing around. I mean, it is a pretty basic airport when we get down to it. But yeah, once this is done, we're going to be able to push back. We're going to want the tail going to the left, because I don't think I can request it yet. I guess we'll prepare, because maybe they can go and like get us connected up at least. Yeah, they're waiting for other services to complete, as you saw. But I think what will then happen, now it says 5 live. You know, it's also as far as traffic injection, but now it's back to 4. There we go. It's back to 4 or 8 nautical miles. So we'll see. There is no refueling going on, so I'm a little confused. And we want, yeah, no smoking on. Alright. Fuel truck should not be on its way. I don't understand. I already did this. Goodness gracious. Like, it should be set. So I don't understand why we suddenly have a fuel truck. I need to get into the air and I need to get off, because I've only got a few minutes here that I can do this. A little confused as to what is happening here, but let me go look. Yeah, I don't know why these things are on their way. Not what I expected. It's telling me refuel is completed, so I don't really understand. So it does look like they are heading away. They kind of picked up the material around the truck. It's just the catering now that needs to be released. But yeah, we were here for the Toyota Owners 400. And we were able to enjoy that at Richmond. Alright, looks like everything is pulling away. Refueling is completed. Departure clearance is requested, so it looks like we're finally heading in. They're pulling the jetway back. And then they're going to be ready for pushback, so they're going to come in and get all that done. So he's bringing in the bypass pin. He'll get that inserted, and then we will be ready to go, and then pushback should just take a little bit of time. So folks who are watching these, certainly let me know. Do you want me to include more of this stuff? Would you rather just kind of be super short video with just, you know, a few minutes in the beginning, where are we going, a few minutes at the end, hey, we made it. I'm showing a little bit more lately because of the real-time traffic situation, because I'm hoping there might be a little bit more to view, but obviously right now there is not. So, you know, and as I get more things working on different things, I may include more things, but right now I'm waiting for a couple add-ons that might become available for air traffic, things like that. Alright, so we're going to put the tail to the left. So, need to release the parking brakes, and there we go, and now engines are clear. So we can start things up. So let's turn that on. Go ahead and get engine 2 going. So gonna get things firing up. So the N2, it may be hard to see. It's hard to see as it is, but you're basically waiting for a little while there for it to get above 20. Now you can see fuel flow is starting, so we're good. We're going to start engine 1 up. Again, that turns gray. And then once it gets far enough up, everything starts spinning up. And in the meantime, you know, so that's engine 2, this engine 1, typically. The starting procedure is normally what I showed. So that is why I follow that, because that's what most airliners say they do. You know, even on a 4 engine, you'll start with engine 4, and then sometimes they go 1, 2, 3, but you know, it's somehow always that last engine. I don't quite know why, but you know, it is what it is. Alright, so we're going to set the parking brakes. Going to go back up here, because at this point we're waiting for the other generator to come on, and so now we can turn off the APU bleed, turn that off. We're going to get the landing lights on. We've got get ourselves to taxi, and he's going to eventually come out, walk out. But, you know, things have got to get disconnected first. I'm sure they probably would rather not have those lights blaring at them, but... Alright, so now I need to let them know we have good engine start. So we do, and now they'll be able to go ahead and disconnect us. Because otherwise, if we have an engine problem, they're able to pull us back in, we can get hooked up to ground power again, start to figure out what we need to do. Alright, cruising altitude, as you can see, is going to be 28,000 feet. It should just be a 15-minute flight, because it's really not that far. It's barely 100 nautical miles between Richmond and Greensboro. Here I'm unlocking the gear, or at least I can. We can start to see where things are, and then we have to get over to runway 16, which is going to be actually behind us. I probably should have gone the other way. Oh well. Actually, no, I need to go around the building. So he should be walking out, showing us the pin at some point. But yeah, we need to head up. There he is. So he's waving. You can't really tell because his arm's in the way of the pillar there. But then we should get a notice that we can turn off the brakes soon. Have a good trip. Or it'll just tell us have a good trip. There we go. And so now we can move along. And there we go. So we need to get around the terminal. And now we'll see what we see as far as any traffic. So we want to, let's see, if I push that back down, see if it slows down a little bit. We're still going under 20. Alright, looks like we've got a United Express. Now we'll go through here, across Alpha, over to Uniform. And then we'll follow that taxiway up to the end of 16. Whoop, too far. I keep forgetting you gotta give the plane a little bit of time to react. Alright, so the Spirit is still there. But yeah, not as much fun as when we left the other airport in Austin, where we really had some traffic. So I think I've shared that, you know, with Real Traffic too, there's this possibility of getting this professional license, which does more as you're coming up on things, but I'm just not sure that it's that crucial. Go ahead and get the airport that we're headed to entered in for the little bit that it might help. But yeah, it's telling me 7 static aircraft. I don't see any parked. There's a JetBlue over there, but it doesn't look like wherever we're at here, I don't know that there's that much available. Alright, so we need to get up to Hotel Sierra 1 is going to be the end point here. We're getting kind of quick, so it's really past this intersection, which is really kind of Bravo coming across and down to the runway that's next to us. But basically we're going to be crossing runway 28 to immediately then be at the end of runway 16. So they do come up on each other pretty quickly. So we'll head over here. Should be able to get, I guess we can't. Just get things mixed up between the Boeing 737 and this. So So this is the threshold of 2.8. Again, sometimes with real traffic we'll have traffic coming in, but given how quiet this is, I just don't think that's going to happen. Alright, so this should be 1.6. So we're going to get on over. We're configured as far as I know. Oh, we haven't put our we don't have our flaps up. So let's get flaps to the right location. Let's get our max on. Do the takeoff config. Whoop, something is off. Probably still moving the flaps, so let's hold on. Alright, now everything's normal. So yes, the flaps were probably in motion at the time. I want to get the spoilers up. Everything is good there. Alright, so we should be all set. So now the auto throttle is on. We're going to move ourselves a little closer to the middle of the runway here. Make sure, I think I started my tracking. I did, thank goodness. That would have been a mess otherwise. Alright, so we can now rotate. There we go. Positive climb, so we'll put that away. Get our throttles back. So that should get us there. Turn on the autopilot. And now we should make a pretty sharp rotation and be heading in the direction that we need to be. But a lot of fog. Am I not in? No, I am. There we go, I guess, because it was blinking lever climb. I'm like, something's off, but... Alright. Pretty steep angle, it appears, but... Plane's pretty capable of doing a lot of things, so... We are now on track. I'm going to retract the flaps all the way. That will help us accelerate a little easier, because at this point we're already over 200 knots. I'm not quite sure. I see we're headed back. I was looking at my Navigraph. I'm like, I am not seeing the track at all, but we obviously took a bit of a wide turn the way we took off, so... And it's a little, you know, it's not a direct route, and that's kind of normal. So, right now, traffic injection on PSXT is telling me 9 miles. Probably because we're low to the ground, and in theory around an airport you could have a lot going on, but we'll see. You know, once we get above 10,000 feet, we're then going to have more options. But as you can see, we're already pretty good cloud cover there, so we are not seeing the ground. So no real reason to stay out of the airplane, but nice and clear up here. 5 miles to the next waypoint. And another one very quickly on there, but... So right now it's telling me 35 minutes, which seems strange, but again, we don't have a specific direction to head. You know, I don't know if the direction is the right thing, but You know, we basically took off on a heading of 160. We are now on a heading of 270. We are basically going due west. We're going to turn a little bit, you know, and again, you can kind of tell that a little bit. We're actually, I guess, at about 280. So in theory, we're going a little bit northerly, but we'll be turning here for the short move to Cali, is it? Yeah, with a K, which is the departure we're on, Cali 7, if you remember. So we've only got 4 miles there, but at this point, yeah, we're up to 290. You know, pretty much everything according to plan, which is pretty much what happens with any of these airliners. It's pretty straightforward. Down to 27 minutes now. But now we're scanning 40 miles out, and there's 22 live aircraft according to live traffic once we've expanded out there. So you can see some contrails up there, I think. Because this is where I would always get confused on these planes, is, you know, you've got things there that, you know, are just things on the window of the model. So, but if I go out, okay, well, there's one there, you can see it blinking away, heading up there. So, you know, this is the stuff then that real traffic would give you to give a little bit more realism to what is happening. So I'm not quite sure if that plane is headed that way. It looks like it's extending in that direction. Yeah, but now we've got 30 nautical miles to the next waypoint. But we're pretty much outside of the Richmond area now. But I'm going to go ahead and just get the rest of this done, get myself to the airport, and, you know, maybe as we're coming in, we'll join up and we'll enjoy the flight in. We'll see what I feel like or what I'm able to do at that point. And once again, any feedback of what you would like to see, how you would like to see things, and what would make these episodes interesting for you. You know, maybe this is what makes the episodes interesting for you. But in any event, this is where we're at. But definitely trying out a few things here and there as I'm just trying to settle into what add-ons I really enjoy with Flight Simulator. But I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so we're trying again. I had to do a go-around. We were still about 2,000 feet when we got near the runway. I don't know what happened. I did not deviate from the path. Had not done any of that, so definitely interesting. But trying to get in at this point. So trying to capture the glide slope. We're a little under 9 nautical miles out. The winds are pretty hefty. They're 13 knots, gusting up to 22 knots. Kind of right in front of us, headwind 230. So right the way we're heading in here. So I think at Heved, which is what we're just about at, we're supposed to be at about 4,000, so you can see the glide slope's finally starting to come down. Hopefully it'll lock in. It never locked in last time, so I'm not sure what happened, but whatever happened, we did do a nice little pattern. Probably a pretty long leg here on this part, but I just did not want to run into any problems. So there we go. We just locked in the glide slope. So I'm going to slow us down further and then get me to get flaps down one more level here. because we really do want flaps full by the time we land. That's the configuration that it's recommending, which I certainly understand. And there we go. So now that'll get us to flaps full. That should give us most of the maneuvering. We're getting down to 1,000 feet above.
1,000.
But, you know, a good-sized airport. Greensboro's not small. I've flown into Greensboro myself several times. But yeah, we were way higher than this at this point. We were probably at 3,000 feet here instead of 1,600. So, and we were moving at like 200 knots. So yeah, it was a lot. Let's see if I can get me down to 145. That would be nice. I don't know that it will get down that slow, but we're going to try.
400.
So, bit of interstate there. Alright. Looks like it's landing.
Minimum.
Alright. So, we're gonna back off here. Head in. 20.
50, 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Ooh. Ooh, that one sounded loud. I hope it won't be too bad. We're on medium brakes, so we'll see. We should be able to exit that space there, I would think. So there we go. I never hit the brakes, I was hitting the engines, so... Whoops. Gotta be careful. Don't want to go crazy there. But yeah, I'm hopeful. Man, that would be terrible if I... Oh yeah, we touched down at 137. God, that sounded so horrendous with whatever I had done. That was like a slam. But... definitely better, so... Looks like we need to go this way to vacate the runway. Not sure, though. It seems a little odd. Oh, no, that'll work. We got to go by the terminal. So basically, we're passing it up here, and then the main terminal's over. So we're on Delta now. Is the taxiway we're on. And then we would go to Kilo. Now, yeah, because I had to start over, I didn't realize, oops, that I hadn't put in the destination airport, but it knows we're here. It's got 4 static, it's got none reporting live, but it takes, I think, a couple minutes sometimes for updates. Because you would think Greensboro would be a little busier, but I'm not sure. So I'm taxiing on purpose because I just want to see how this might work. So this should be Kilo here, I would think, because then the next thing is a runway, another runway. This is Charlie, which is interesting. At least I think it says Charlie. But at this point, then, this will take us up. We're going to pass by the GA hangars again. And, alright, so now it's showing 1 live. Not on the ground, it's still just 4 static. But yeah, I'd like to see if this worked. I'm probably going to use it for things out in that I'm not recording, but I just want to get a feel for it to see if I want to spend some of the money. The other thing I'm looking at is a product called On Air. It looks intriguing. It's one, again, that isn't free. There's a 7-day trial, but while I'm doing this, I decided, you know what, I cannot be trialing everything, because I'm just going to be buried again. So I'm trying to restrain my enthusiasm. Curb my enthusiasm, as they say, right? For the TV show. Although I think that's about something totally different than what we're talking about here. Maybe not. Alright. Just trying to figure out where I am on the line. Alright, and this will get us to the terminal here, as you can see. So, we're going to turn. And we'll just get to one of these gates. Where these 4 static planes are, I don't know. But in the interim, I am also going to try to add back in the deliveries that we had from Alpha India Group, which give us a lot more choices. What just happened here? I don't understand. Why is it not turning? Alright, well, it just kind of stopped turning for some reason. So we're going to do that. Going to get ourselves over there. And we're going to turn off the engines. Put the spoilers off. And that should let us get this leg done. So there we go. We're deboarding, and it looks like it was recorded. Alright, so next airport, we do have an 8,000-foot runway. We're going to Tri-Cities Regional, Tennessee, Virginia, because we are headed over, I believe, we are going to Bristol. So in 2022, we were doing the Bristol Dirt Race. So that will be where we're headed. We are still going to fly in on Saturday, even though the Martinsville race took place on Saturday. So you're going to see this on Saturday as normal, because it is a night race. So it's 7:30. We'll just say we got here a little bit early, and everybody was able to go and enjoy themselves. But yeah, probably one of the better landings with the A320 I've had in a little while, so I will take it. But hope you've enjoyed it. I wish there was a little bit more going on with real traffic, but we're dealing with a lot of small airports here on the Nascar circuit. So I'm thinking that's part of it. That's where I think I need to spend a little bit of time at busier airports and see if it looks different, because otherwise I'm really not giving it a good test. But if you've enjoyed this and haven't dropped a like, please consider doing that. And if you are not a subscriber, please consider doing that. Yeah, wherever these 4 planes are, they're not at the terminal. But yeah, it's telling me there's 4 static planes, so they're somewhere, but they're not here. But yeah, if you're not a subscriber, please consider that, and I will see you next time.